Hello, Wharton Warriors. Today I'm going to solve 2022 AP Statistics question 1 on free response. The first question asks, a biologist gathered a data on the length in millimeters and the mass in grams for 11 bullfrogs. The data are shown in plot 1. So this is a scatter plot, as you notice here. So based on the scatter plot, describe the relationship between mass and the length in context. I mean, there is, just by looking at it, there is a pretty strong positive relationship because it has a positive slope, right? And a linear relationship between length and the mass for the bullfrogs in this sample, with a possible outlier with a length around 182 millimeters, which is an outlier, and the mass around 350 grams, right? So that should be an outlier. Okay. So this leaves about these two samples as an outlier. You don't really have to specify the outliers, but it's good to set a threshold like this. Okay, then the next question says, from the data, the biologist calculated the least squares regression line for predicting mass from length. The least squared regression line is shown like this. Okay, so we're given this linear equation where predicted mass would be y hat and length would be x, right? So as you notice, the slope is here. The slope is 6.086. That means for every increase of 1 millimeter in the length of bullfrog, we predict that mass, this is associated with mass, y, to increase by 6.086 grams. So every increase, 1 millimeters increase corresponds to 6.086 grams increase in the mass of bullfrog. Okay, and the next question says, interpret the coefficient of determination of the least squares regression line. This means about 81.9% of the variation in the bullfrog mass is accounted for using the linear regression model with a bullfrog legs as the explanatory variable. So this R-square score is pretty good, right? In general, we say anything over than 0.7, so we say that there is a pretty strong positive linear relationship. Okay, and based on the plot, approximately what is the length and the mass of bullfrog with the largest absolute value of residual? So the bullfrog with length here with 161 millimeters and the mass of 355 grams, which is about here, this would be the outlier, right? It's farthest away from the best fit line, right? So that would have the largest absolute value. So I would specify here the one with 161 millimeters and 355 grams. And the last question says, does the least squares regression line overestimate or underestimate the mass of bullfrog identified in the part D1? So this question, this is overestimate, right? So this best fit line is overestimating from this outlier, right? It's really above this estimate from this individual. So we would say this is an overestimate because the point that represents this bullfrog is below the least square regression line, which means the mass predicted by this least square line here is greater than the actual mass, about 350 grams. So that was pretty simple question regarding the best fit line. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. All right, thank you. I'll see you the next time.